What's up, everybody, and welcome in to another edition of the Sit Down. As always, if you enjoy this video, please make sure you hit that like button and let me know what you think of today's discussion in the comment section below. If you're new around here, you just haven't done it yet. We're living on a rock and seeing this video for the first time. I don't know what you're waiting for. Hit that subscribe button below now so you never miss another sit down video. This may be, in fact, it is a breaking news story. And I put a short out on this last night, and I want to go a little bit deeper on what went on, who the individuals are, and why some of this all happened. Yesterday, two grandsons of John Gotti, Frankie Gotti on the left, John Gotti on the right, were arraigned in Queens Court on assault charges. When we hear that, we think, uh-oh, in the news again. Now, again, this isn't the first time that Mr. Gotti has been in a courtroom. He spent nearly a decade in prison. We know that the young baby Gotti, as he's called, ran around with members and associates of the Bonanno crime family. We know that he was involved with some things, and he got his life straight. He's out of prison. He owns a business. Look, I've heard rumblings about him. I'm not going to go into them. All the things that I know are, though, is up until yesterday and today, he's a business owner. Let's go through this story on what we know, who these people are. I want to start with the Gotti contingent. This individual and his brother, seen on the left, are the sons of Peter Gotti, one of the sons of John Gotti Sr. We've seen Peter Gotti around. He's just a regular guy, talks about his father, gives wisdom. We saw him on Growing Up Gotti many years ago. Essentially, what went on here is these two individuals beat up this guy, a person called Gino Gabrielli. Now, Gabrielli is quite a shithead from what I understand. Gabrielli is an admitted rat. This text shows he admits to it. Quote, "Sorry for ratting your friend out. He wasn't a friend to me. And if he's your friend, then good luck with that." That is in reference to his involvement with ratting out a person called Peter Tuccio. Now, we know Tuccio. We've seen him around. Tuccio, as well as Gabrielli, and another person called Jonathan Guarino were involved several years ago in that arson on behalf of mobsters. They were trying to collect a debt. One of them lit their pant leg on fire. We all know that story. Tuccio is serving 10 years for it currently. Gabrielli was involved in that little stunt. Now, Gabrielli is an heir to a pizzeria in Queens, a place called Aldo's. Aldo's was owned by his grandfather. I believe his father worked there, from what I know. And we also know that, from what I've understood about the Gabrielli group, at one point, maybe they were loosely connected to Ronnie One Arm, a guy who was in the streets years ago from Ozone Park. So Aldo's, known in Ozone Park, known throughout Howard Beach. Gabrielli, at this point, let's go into what he allegedly did. From what we know, he was caught on surveillance cameras attempting to burglarize the home of John Gotti. Not a real smart idea. I don't know if he maybe thought they didn't have cameras, which is kind of insane nowadays, especially with who they are. He goes in, steals $3,000 in cash, some jewelry, things of that nature. Now, what's also interesting about this is John Gotti is married to Gabrielli's sister. And Gabrielli even stole earrings belonging to her in this burglary. Now, I'm not going to put her on the screen. That's not important. But they've been together for a while. Obviously, there's some bad blood here because the brother, Gino, is a thief. He's obviously, look, we have to put two and two together here. When you burglarize a home in this matter, where you're stealing from family, there's really only one reason you're doing this. Okay. Nobody's doing this because they don't like someone or they have an issue with them. I think we know why. I'm not going to jump to conclusions, but I think if you have any sort of brain, you could probably do that yourself. Throw in the fact that this guy doesn't have a great reputation around Queens right now. They dished him a beating, and they should have. Anybody that this would happen to would do something very similar. Obviously, they have the last name Gotti. They have the stigma. They are going to be arrested for this. This is like, anybody would be arrested, but this is a charge you take and are willingly fine with taking it. It's not like this is an incredibly serious charge, if you will. It's simple assault. It's a misdemeanor, if you will. Now, Mr. Gabrielli has far more problems because he's going to be hit with different burglary and robbery charges. But I don't think anybody has any issue with what these guys did. It's not like they're running around beating up innocent people. Gino Gabrielli is a known scumbag, as far as from what I understand. So I think in the end, they were right to do this. You have to protect your family. And Mr. Gotti on the right and his brother on the left did what they had to do. In fact, I would say this is quite honorable. You protect your family. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I think Gabrielli should be actually probably happy here. I mean, most people now, again, this is New York that these people are in, but if this were Texas, Pennsylvania, it could have been far worse. They had every right to, use lethal force to defend their home. Now, I want to mention that during the commission of this was caught on surveillance camera, which sparked police being called after a 911 call. Cops saw the siblings punching Gabrielli in the face during a fight. So they kind of got their get back, and that was that. Two brothers pleaded guilty last evening. Now, Gabrielli was arrested Sunday and hit with second-degree burglary, third-degree grand larceny, third-degree criminal possession of stolen property. So he's going to have more problems here than the two brothers. Now, John Gotti's 31. His brother Frankie is 27. We could actually see Peter Gotti behind them. So I'm sure Dad was at least I'm not going to say that he was proud of them being arrested, but he was proud of them defending their family and their wife, or at least John's wife, and their possessions. There's nothing wrong with this. Now, this made the news because their grandpa was John Gotti and their uncle is John Gotti Jr. This family is quite kind of difficult as far as who all the people belong to. They have a lot of the same names. Some of them don't talk to other members of the family. So there's a lot of moving parts here. I would just say this is an isolated thing. They did what they had to do. Nothing wrong with that. So good for them. We shout them out here on the show. I just wanted to give you a little bit more background on this, talk a little bit about some of the particulars in this. And, Gabrielli got what you got coming to you. So that's that. I hope you all have a great day. We'll see you next time here on the Sit Down.